Hello.
Hello.
So today we're doing something slightly different. We're actually doing the unknown haunted road trip. We're starting off from Cambridge, from where we're from, and we're going to end up in London, and let's just see where it takes us.
You can see what lets us in first of all.
yeah, that's true.
Abbey House was built in the late 16th and early 17th century to the southwest of Barnwell Priory, which was dissolved in 1550. Much of the original stonework from the priory is now incorporated into garden features. Loud banging on bedroom doors, footsteps on the staircase, an apparition rattling chains. Also reported in the house is a ghostly nun who appears 3 to 4 times a month in the spring, walking into bedrooms, standing at the end of the bed and then disappearing into the curtains.
Okay, so we've stopped off here at Abbey House in Cambridge. It's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Supposedly, yeah. The current owners actually say they haven't experienced anything, but the history sort of does say otherwise.
Yeah. There's all sorts of reports, so things like footsteps, doors banging and banging throughout the house, people sitting on the bed when people are asleep.
Yeah, you're saying about from something stuff moves around them.
Yeah, stuff moving around and stuff. There's supposedly an exorcism that happened here, but apparently it failed. So yeah, it's just a really interesting place, really, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately we can't really get into it because it's now owned by a religious society. Is it, what were they? Buddhists?
Buddhists,
but
yes.
It's now owned by Buddhists, so yeah, they're probably a little bit against us filming indoors, but they very kindly gave us permission to film out here, so yeah.
So yeah, thank you to them for allowing us to do this.
Yep.
So let's move on to the next place.
Great.
Let's go.
Well, it's not fucking there anymore, is it? Because I wiped it off, but it fucking stinks. Oh, all I can smell is dog shit. Where else can it be? Oh, that smells so bad as well.
It's better than...
I don't know what smells worse, man. This or the dog shit. Oh. I swear, man. Look, I'm going to be finding lumps of dog shit on all my clothes now. I'm so upset.
Well, there'll be a bit in your hood.
I'm just glad you didn't get it all in the car.
You fucking hope I didn't.
You definitely want to be around slapping dogs now.
Oh, my fucking scarf's down. Oh, no.
Maybe that's why I missed the car back. It's all in your scarf.
Get your scarf for that.
Yeah, it is my fucking scarf. Oh. Oh, that's so fucking unlucky, isn't it? How's it got my fucking trousers like?
Is it supposed to be good luck to stand on wee man?
Oh, it stinks! Good luck to standing. It's good luck for anyone else in the area because they're not going to fucking tread in it.
Well, right. That home.
It fucking does have. Can you smell it? Excellent.
It smells fresh.
Excellent.
Dubai. Give me some.
Holy fucking... Oh, no.
As you may have guessed, Matt stood in dog poo at the first place we've stopped at.
And I've managed to wipe it all over my fucking trousers.
Pleasant.
No, not at all. I'm just happy that I've got a cold actually, because I can't smell half of it.
Yeah, and the one thing that I was laughing at earlier, which is this, which smells really
bad.
Really bad, is now actually being used to mask the smell of dog shit on my leg.
Amazing.
Bridge End Gardens was created around 1840 by Francis Gibson, now being registered as Grade 2 listed by Historic England. As it's open all year round, day and night, it attracts a lot of young people to the park at night time. There's been reports of full body apparitions, strange light anomalies, and many voices heard around them, but no one can be seen.
So now we're at Bridge End Gardens.
Yes, in Saffron Walden. Most of it was apparently laid out in about 1840, sometime around about then.
whole town's pretty old, isn't it?
The whole town's extremely old. It goes back to 1120s, I think, if not earlier. Yeah, the gardens itself, I mean, it's got a bit of unfortunate history. Actually, a very good friend of a friend of mine's passed away here. But when he was, I think, about 16, 17 years old. There's actually a memorial to him up there. But yeah, there's been sort of spirit lights seen here. I know there's actually been figures seen around here, but whether that's anything to do with Simon or not, I really can't say. But yeah, it's an interesting garden anyhow.
Alright, let's move on to the next place.
There it is, the one and only, the Cock. That is the greatest pub ever.
Yeah.
Look, the Cock.
The Cock.
We should have gone in there just because it's called the Cock. Just filmed that. Here we are at the Cock, a famous landmark in Stansted, Hertfordshire. It also has a Norman castle, but forget that, we're going to the Cock.
So we've got no option but to go to the Cock.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're about halfway there now.
The smell of dog poo's gone at least.
It has,
It has,
I'm
yeah.
busting for a waz, I tell you. I'm going to just hop out and go for it.
Do all the cars moving.
That's probably not such a good idea.
Might
Do an action roll.
Might actually
Action
clean
roll
my
into
car
a
though.
slash.
Well, no, I mean, having seen the statement, there's a big pissy stain in your trousers, mates, after the geezer the other night. I don't really particularly want to be reproducing his fashion statement.
Yeah, but he was cool.
He was cool, very cool.
He was
As far as
very
I
cool.
see, yeah, my street cred speaks for itself, yeah. Not as much as your pissy stain.
He helped everyone.
So what Matt's on about is our investigation the other night. We was outside, and this guy come up to us and was just telling us how cool he was and how amazing he is. So then realised he's got a massive wee patch on his trousers, so he'd wet himself. So how cool he was, it's hard to say. Really.
He went up in my estimations, I'll tell you, I thought he was damn cool after that. And just him walking away going, great to see his piss patch. Made it all worthwhile, didn't it?
It did.
I've never seen anything like, well, yeah. You couldn't make it up, could you? The traffic's bad already. What day is it today?
Tuesday.
Dunno.
Then it's half term, so there might be people going to the airport.
That's true.
Lucky buggers going on there, aren't they?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? We're going on holiday.
Yeah. To a cemetery. Coming soon to a cemetery near you.
If they let us in, comes to a cemetery near you.
Could you imagine if we got there and they didn't even let us in?
Well, it's quite possible they won't know with the
It's
camera.
on the website.
It does, and it says it welcomes filming and stuff, so...
Yeah, well, let's just hope there's not some sod sat there with the handout going, yeah, yours for only 20 quid. You know?
Yeah.
We then stopped off at Friends School in Saffron Walden, which is last known as the Warden's School. This was Matt's old boarding school, but unfortunately we couldn't get permission to record at this time, so we'll be looking at going back. But the caretaker tells us it's still extremely haunted.
Okay, so we've now made it to London, and we're on our way to Abney Park Cemetery. I don't like driving through London, it's too busy.
And if you saw down the side of that gym, there was loads of flowers laid out. Probably someone must have died there.
Must have done. So where we're going is actually one of 7 magnificent cemeteries.
One of the Magnificent Seven cemeteries. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently this one sort of allows filming as well. That's the reason we're coming to this one.
Yeah, maybe we was going to go to Highgate Cemetery, which has obviously got a lot more notoriety.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they're cashing on that, and they don't let you go in there for free. So they charge you to go in, and probably the film is probably double or treble. So
In fact, they wouldn't even let us film. We did. I
No.
got in contact with them, and they
yeah.
said that we couldn't. We may get kicked out of here. We may not. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, it did suggest it was okay, though, didn't it?
Huh?
It did suggest that it was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to be careful around here, there's no doubt. Walk around with an expensive camera, you've got to be so careful.
Yeah.
It's a graveyard with a chapel in the middle of it. Yeah, so the chapel would be held for the funerals, but it's not limited just to one religion, it's probably not on...
That makes sense.
I don't know if that would mean the ground's consecrated or not, because that'd be strange, because consecrated ground is normally where the church would say, right, it's consecrated, therefore you've got to be a religion to be buried here.
Yeah.
And what they'd say, if people like witches weren't, they had to be buried outside of it, or suicides had to be buried outside of it, because it didn't conform with their beliefs.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if this is open, it's probably non-consecrated ground.
Yeah, so we've finally arrived here at Abney Park Cemetery in London.
Yeah, it's about 200 years old, isn't it? It's not Victorian one. The unique thing about it is that it wasn't only reserved for people of Christian or religious persuasions.
Really, wasn't it?
It was anyone. Anyone could be buried here.
And it's one of the 7 magnificent cemeteries around this area. There's quite a few dotted around. That's because the population of London just expanded massively, and they didn't have enough room to pet anyone. So
and obviously, as I said, there've been quite a lot of them weren't religious individuals, and it's like, where do you bury them? Because churches only allow you if you're
certain religions and stuff. So, but as you can see, it's completely. There's just graveyards absolutely everywhere, and they're just all rammed together as well. It's not even like there's gaps in between that you'd see in a typical sort of graveyard or cemetery, is there?
Well, no, they're amazing. They're not only small steps. It's huge, huge, great monuments. Yeah, everywhere. Brilliant. Right.
Abney Park Cemetery is named after Sir Thomas Abney, who served as Lord of London in the 1700s. This is one of 7 magnificent cemeteries. Had a Gothic style feel, and it surrounds a little Gothic chapel in the centre. This is a perfect backdrop for any horror movie, although it has many ghost stories of its own. Apparitions have been seen passing through the graves, and reports of screaming at night time. A place like this is enough to give anyone nightmares.
Okay, so we've finished our road trip for today. We're now heading back to Cambridge. We managed to stop at a couple of other places, but unfortunately we couldn't get permission to record while we were there.
And so, the one we wanted to go to in Stansted, to be fair, that wasn't actually open.
Shut.
And they were looking at charging quite a lot of money per person, per entry, and that would have just been silly money at the end of the day. So
But it's been an interesting day. It's nice to see different places, isn't it? So
yeah, and I mean, there's a couple that we may be able to get permission to go back to later on.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll show a photograph of that. That was my old boarding school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the caretaker also said that it's still extremely haunted, so it's...
Yeah, that was quite surprising, Michelle. I've obviously mentioned that we're doing it for paranormal stuff, and it's like, wow, but it's still active, which was quite a shock.
So yeah, thank you for watching.
Yeah.